Welcome to today's video. So here in this video, I'm going to explain about how we can call this ChatGPT API through using Python. So I think most of you have already known like what ChatGPT and how it is used. Like you might have seen this UI very popular. Like you can ask anything, so it will reply you back. So yeah, so that's the same we are going to do in Python as well. So the first thing we need to have to call the ChatGPT API is that you need to create the secrets. So that I'm going to discuss here. So yeah, so the first part here is to you have to log into your OpenAI account and just go to this path like OpenAI account, personal view API keys, and create your own new secrets. So once you create your new secrets, please save in you have to save that new secrets file in secrets key in your environment variables. And also you can I provided you the two links in the description as well, so you can go through these two links. So the first one is for creating the new secrets, and the second one is for the to get the organization ID. So that we'll be using in the Python OpenAI so while initializing the OpenAI instance. So okay, so coming to next, okay, let's have a demo here. Oh, okay. So hope you can. So here, if you see here, so I'm going to explain about two things. One is like calling the Chat GPT Open API AI API using Python. Another one is a cool library, which is Gradio, which is so famous and becoming famous for for interacting with the Chat GPT using your own custom UI. So therefore, so first of all, you have to do these two things. You have to just like do a pip install of OpenAI and then Gradio. So I'll explain the Gradio at the end of the session. And then, so once I've already installed this, I don't have to install it. And once just import the required libraries, I've already, as I've shown you here, I've already created my new secrets and already. So I just have to import them and fetch them using the OS library here. So I'm just yeah, so I have my OpenAPI key and already here. So next I'm just initializing just with the keys and just checking. Yeah, so I'm just running a sample API just model or list. It will give the list of models here just to check verify whether it's really hitting the API. So my OpenAI is ready. So now I can initialize and make use of hit the chat GPT API. If you use the next code here and just OpenAI and just do the chat completion here, so you can do any chat you want. If you want image also you can do. For this example, I'm just sticking with the chat completion here. So with the simple examples here. So okay, so now you can see the message here. I'm using a model at GPT 3.5 Turbo, and you can see the models here. So sorry, the messages. So the message here is, so I'm just having a role, a user role, which is the user. Content is specifically about AI. It just yeah, two lines maybe. Yeah. So I just run this, and my temperature is 0. So the temperature is basically how creative the response you want. If you want more creative responses, you have to increase this temperatures. But for now, I'm sticking with the natural responses, default responses with temperature 0, and maximum number of tokens is just put as 256. As we are dealing with small inputs, I think it's fine. So let me just run this here, and okay, it's taking time. So yeah, now you can see here so I got my response. These are all the meta info here. Yeah, so this is my actual response here. You can see the content inside the message, inside choices. So the content here is, so the question I asked to explain about AI in two lines. So yeah, AI or artificial intelligence refers to the components of computer systems, and yeah, it gave me a response more than two lines, I believe. So yeah, so okay, so basically like the response contains multiple blocks, right? Let's divide the response into a single block. Like let me just print response dot. So I have choices, which is yeah, I think this is an array of dictionaries. Let me just array of dictionaries. It's only has one, and then followed by the message. Uh, yeah. and then followed by the content. So which I want. Okay, yeah, so whatever it assisted, so that is my response here. I'm just so this is my response actually, the actual response which I gave here. So okay, so moving on to it. So basically, you might want to know like what is this role here, right? So the role here, like in OpenAI, it's actually so while we are doing this prompts, so we can categorize what how our prompt can be. So the roles will be like this, as we seen, like we have system, assist, user, and there are other roles as well. But just we are just discussing only system and assist and user in this example. The system is basically like how like if you want to ask a question related to a domain, you just have to specify the domain related prompt here in the for the system role. And for the assist role, if you want your response to be in a certain format, then you can define your format. You can assist that OpenAI, I want the response in this format. Can you please this response in this format? So actually you have you're basically like assisting the OpenAI, to give the response as you want, or to uh, generate the response as you need. That's what we are doing with the assist role. And one more default role is a user role. Like you are just asking the general question. Let's say if I want to ask a question related to a medical domain, so I will be defining the role as system and just asking it like you are a good OpenAI medical board. So and then assisting is, can you please provide me some information about an organ or failure of an organ, and what is the cause of failure of an organ, something like that. So you just have to define these three roles appropriately and then ask question. Therefore, you will get exact results, proper results. So now, so to explain that, I'm just giving an example of a small story here. So I'm just so this is actually my story here. Let me just copy it here for simplicity. Okay. Story. Story. Just make it short. That's- So yeah, I hope uh, all of you know this story. It's a simple story on a hare and a tortoise. So yeah, so this story, so I'm just curious about like you can go through the story like tide is bragging of speedy hare and a tortoise challenge it to race and so on. Like you can go through the story. So the basically like it's a competition between a hare and a tortoise here. So and hare is very speedy and tortoise is very slow. So I mean, my question here is like I just want to know like which species is what character of which species of what character, like you can do task is to. So I just want to be curious about knowing the character of each animal here. It's what is the characteristic of a tortoise and a hare here. So you can see here, so my role is a system, and also for system I'm just studying, you are given a document. So I'm just giving doc strings here. So I'm telling already with system user, you are given a document. Your task is to specify each animal and its characteristic. So I'm just telling you there are some animals here, and it has to provide me some characteristics of those animals. Yes, with the system role, and then followed by that, I'm just defining my user. So which is like my story. So whatever I told for the system that I'm giving a document of story, a document. So this here is my document which I'm using here. So yeah, and the role of assist. So my assist. So I want the response to be like this, my response to be animal, and the model writes an expert here. So the model, I want the model to write that exert here. So whatever the characteristic it got, so I want it to write here. So I want animal and its characteristics. It's like here is PD, something like that. So yeah, let's run this. Let's see how it gives a response. It's taking time. Yeah, I think we got the response. Let's take the response here. Okay, let me copy the same here. Yes, yeah, you can see we got the output. So the animal is here, and the characteristics is overconfident, bragging, speedy, easy tired, lazy. And for tortoise, it's patient, slow moving, determined, steady, and focus. So from this story, from so we are here. We have specified everything. So we have assisted the AI, to give me the output in a certain format. So that's the bot, the chat GPT gave me an exact format that I wanted, So this is really awesome. Yeah. So this is cool and fine. So the next thing is, so the Gradio library. So basically, it's becoming famous, the Gradio one. So I'm just going through the basics here. So the Gradio is like it's kind of a UI for chat bot, So yeah, we as I've explained, like you can just do a pip install of Gradio library. Just have already imported it. I'm just going to just go through a sample example here. So here I have defined my my method here. Chat with GPT here. You can see it's a simple prompting code here, which we already seen. Like I'm just getting the messages here, and my system is like you are a helpful kind of a AI assistant, and then followed by my inputs. So whatever the user input I have, I will be taking through the inputs of this function, this method. So that input I will be appending to the messages, and I will be prompting my ChatGPT. So once the GPT gets the responses here, so I will get the response here, and it will be returned here. So I will be using the same method and making use of this method and the Gradio library. I'm just going to do the same thing, same prompting in the UI. So in the UI, I will be defining my so the Gradio basically it will have the you can just take an input text box and input output text box as well, and define the inputs and outputs here, and you can just initialize the interface with the method you have, the function whatever I have defined, the the backend communication with the GPT APIs. So that method I'm defining here just as, and then followed by the inputs. My inputs are like whatever the input I get, whatever the input that I have to give this function here. So that inputs will be passed from the UI using this input text box, which is labeled as like this. And my outputs will be displayed on the output text box, which I just defined here with the label output and the title of the UI, and description is, yeah, I think you can just put anything you want, and theme is compact. We're going to the default theme and we are launching it. So once we run this, we'll be launching it, and so let me run this function. Yeah, I run this just to check whether it's working fine or not. Let me check. Chat with GPT. Yeah, hello. How can I assist you today? Yeah, I think yeah, we just want to make sure this is working fine. Yeah, it's working fine, of course. Yeah. So here I'm going to run this. So once I run this, the radio, so it will be giving me an IP, localhost IP, along with the 7860, which is its default port. I can simply click on it. So yes, you can see here uh, the UI is on. So the Gradio UI, yeah, built with Gradio. So here you can see the two text boxes. One is for input, which will accept the text here, and one is for output. So whatever the prompt that I was doing in the Python, so whatever the prompt that we are doing in the Chat GPT, similar interface we have developed here. We can customize our whatever the prompts we are using for systems and assist roles. We can customize and build this UI and make interactions in this UI. Um, let me just ask you a programming question here. Um, can you write a Python program to find whether, sorry, whether given number is a prime or not? Well, so let's ask it like write a Python program to find whether a given number is prime or not. Right, yeah. So now once it will hit my backend method, which is my chat with GPT method, and it will be substituting my input with this inputs variable, and hitting the GPT API here, and yeah, it's still running. Okay, yeah, we got the output here. Here is the Python program check whether the union prime. Yeah, I think yeah. I think we got the output. Yes, I think, and we got also got the explanation as well, and that's very cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I think that's all for this video. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching. Yeah, thank you. Bye.